Netskope's continuous security assessment for Google Cloud Platform helps address the risks tied to misconfigurations that may lead to resources in GCP being inadvertently exposed to the internet. Netskope achieves this by continuously monitoring and auditing your GCP configuration, using the CIS benchmark and GCP best practices to identify misconfigurations and help you remediate so you improve your security posture and ensure compliance. Let's take a look at this in action. The first step is that we want to create a policy to continuously monitor our GCP configuration environment. Netskope provides multi-cloud support with continuous security assessment for AWS, Azure, and GCP. So what we're going to do is select a GCP instance, and for the profile, we'll choose both the CIS Foundations benchmark for GCP as well as GCP best practices. More on this in a moment. After configuration notification options and naming our policy, continuous scans will take place in our GCP environment. As part of our policy, we selected both the CIS benchmark and GCP best practices. Here you can see that the CIS profile consists of 52 defined rules, and GCP best practices consists of 34 rules. Let's take a glance at the predefined rules in the CIS GCP benchmark. This includes rules ranging from ensure that corporate login credentials are used instead of Gmail accounts, to ensuring that keys for service accounts are rotated every 90 days. You can also create custom rules. Netskope supports domain-specific language with an intuitive rule builder that enables you to build out simple but critical rules that will help you monitor a variety of scenarios. For example, let's add a rule that triggers when a VM has been restricted at start because Compute Engine has detected suspicious activity. We'll go ahead and use the syntax instance should not have start restricted. Next, we will go ahead and validate our rule, change the severity to critical, and then give the rule a name so we can use it in our next continuous security assessment. Now that we have our policy in place, let's look at the results in the dashboard. Here I am logged into the Cloud Infrastructure dashboard, where I get multi-cloud insights across AWS, Azure, and GCP. Here I get an overview of my inventory, along with the results of the continuous security assessment scans. I am presented with how many rules and resources have failed. Speaking of resources, you can also look at scan results using an inventory-centric view across your multi-cloud accounts. Let's filter by GCP and take a look inside the compute category. Here we get details on the resource, including tags, compliance alerts, and metadata. Going back to the scan results, let's take a look at one of the rule failures tied to GCP. Here we get a summary of the rule that failed, the asset failures as part of the rule, and the remediation steps to perform to address this issue. Once we perform the remediation steps for each of these failed rules, the red will turn into a green after the next scan, and thanks to Netskope, our security posture will be improved.